When your body swells, it's not just reacting, it's speaking. Swelling is the language of imbalance, the way your body tells you that something inside has lost its rhythm. Rectal swelling, that heavy, burning pressure that comes with hemorrhoids, is not punishment, it's communication. It's your body asking you to stop, to listen, to change. We live in a world that moves too fast for bodies built to flow slowly. We eat in a rush, sit for hours, hold back when we should release, and then wonder why the body rebels. But the truth is simple. Your body was never the enemy. The pain, the itching, the inflammation, they're signals. Messages that say, I need care, I need balance, I need you to remember me. For many people, hemorrhoids are a secret pain. They suffer in silence, embarrassed to talk about it, pretending it's just a small irritation. But behind every flare-up, there's a story of neglect, a body deprived of fiber, of hydration, of rest. Veins that were meant to flow smoothly have become swollen and trapped, like rivers that can no longer find their way to the sea. Imagine your bloodstream as a system of waterways. When the current is strong, it carries everything away with ease. But when it slows, because of dehydration, poor diet, or too much sitting, the water stagnates. The pressure builds. The banks swell. That's what's happening inside you. Those veins in the rectal area, delicate and full of life, are now struggling against the weight of stillness. But here's what most people don't realize. What created the problem can also solve it. The same path that led to pain can lead back to healing, and it starts with what you eat. Because food is not just fuel, it's information. Every bite tells your body something. Some foods whisper calm, renewal, flow. Others shout chaos, inflammation, and strain. And that's the turning point. The moment you understand that healing hemorrhoids isn't just about creams or pills, it's about changing the conversation between you and your body. It's about giving it the tools to heal the way it was designed to. When you eat the right food, something remarkable happens. Your blood begins to thin naturally, circulation improves, and inflammation quiets down. The body stops fighting itself. The veins that once screamed with pressure begin to relax. What was heat becomes warmth. What was swelling becomes flow. There's no magic here, no overnight fix. It's the quiet science of nature, consistent, patient, and powerful. It doesn't ask for miracles, only for attention, because the body is always trying to heal. You just have to stop interrupting it. The foods we're about to explore are not exotic or rare. They're humble, everyday allies, the kind of things you can find in any kitchen. But within them lies a healing potential that modern medicine often overlooks. These foods speak directly to your circulation, to your veins, to your digestion. They cool the fire, they restore rhythm, they bring life back to what has been inflamed. And as you listen now, let your imagination picture it. The relief of sitting without pain, the lightness of a body free from pressure, the confidence of knowing that your own choices are rebuilding you from within. That's what's waiting on the other side of this journey. So stay until the end, because what you're about to learn isn't just information, it's transformation. The power to end rectal swelling, to calm the inflammation, to restore balance. It's already in your hands, and it begins with understanding how the simplest foods can awaken the deepest healing your body remembers. Stay with me, and let's begin this path together. Inside every case of hemorrhoids, there is something deeper than pain. There is stagnation, blood that no longer flows the way it should, tissues that can no longer breathe. When circulation slows, inflammation becomes a way of life. The body, desperate to restore order, begins to swell. And the first place this imbalance shows up is often the rectal area, where fragile veins struggle to manage the weight of poor habits. Most people see hemorrhoids as a local issue, something external. But the truth runs much deeper. It's not about what happens on the body, it's about what happens inside it. The veins there are mirrors of your internal health, reflecting the condition of your blood, your digestion, your hydration, and even your stress. Think about how the modern lifestyle works against this balance. Long hours sitting down, meals full of processed fats and sodium, dehydration masked by coffee, energy drinks, and sugary beverages. Each of these adds resistance to your bloodstream. The blood thickens, the pressure builds, and the small vessels near the rectum take the blow. It's like squeezing a hose. The harder you press, the more pressure builds behind the blockage. That pressure, over time, weakens the walls of the veins. They expand, twist, and lose their natural elasticity. The result is the burning, the itching, the painful swelling that so many know but few talk about. And here's where food becomes more than nutrition. It becomes medicine. Not in a mystical way, but in a biological one, because everything you eat changes the composition of your blood. Eat something inflammatory, too salty, too fatty, too refined, and your blood thickens, circulation slows, and your veins swell even more. But eat something healing, rich in antioxidants, fiber, and hydration, and your blood becomes lighter, smoother, cleaner. That's why the upcoming 8 foods matter. They are not random, healthy options. They are targeted allies. They help your blood move the way it should. They rebuild the walls of your veins. They reduce the heat that drives inflammation. They calm the internal fire that keeps your body trapped in cycles of pain. But before we reveal them, it's important to understand one thing. Healing hemorrhoids isn't about doing one thing right once. It's about doing small things right, over and over again. It's not a battle. It's a rhythm. A return to the flow your body has been asking for all along. When you start to make small, consistent changes, drinking more water, eating more fiber, moving more often, the body begins to shift quietly. The pressure lessens. The veins stop bulging. The swelling subsides. The transformation begins long before you see it. It starts in the blood, in the silent chemistry of renewal that your body performs when you simply give it what it needs. And that's what these 8 foods will do. They'll open the rivers again. They'll turn stagnation into movement, heat into calm, pain into relief. Because the cure is not in the medicine cabinet. It's in the kitchen. It's in the choices that whisper to your body every day. You can heal. You can flow. You can begin again. Let's begin the journey through the 8 most powerful foods against hemorrhoids. Not as a list, but as a story about how your body rebuilds itself through what you eat. Each of these foods carries a specific message to your veins, your intestines, and your blood. They don't just relieve pain, they help your body remember what health feels like. The first one is berries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Small, vibrant, alive. Their color isn't just beauty, it's chemistry. That deep red and purple hue comes from flavonoids, compounds that strengthen blood vessels and make them more elastic. When you eat berries regularly, they act like tiny protectors inside your veins, keeping them strong and flexible. They reduce the leakage that causes swelling and bleeding, and they cool the fire of inflammation from the inside. The second is dark, leafy greens. Spinach, kale, collard greens. They are the body's natural filters, rich in magnesium, iron, and chlorophyll. They help clean the blood and neutralize the acid buildup that inflames the tissues. Imagine these greens sweeping through your system, clearing away what clogs, calming what burns, and giving your blood back its freshness. The smoother your blood flows, the less pressure builds in your veins. The third food is garlic. Ordinary, humble, but one of the strongest allies your circulation could ever have. Raw or lightly crushed, garlic releases allicin, a compound that reduces clotting, improves blood flow, and fights hidden infections that fuel inflammation. Think of it as a silent engineer, opening pathways where the blood once struggled, allowing your body to breathe again. The fourth is oats. Soft, soothing, full of soluble fiber. When you eat oats, you are not only feeding yourself, you are protecting your intestines. Fiber from oats creates a gentle gel in the digestive tract that eases the passage of stool and prevents the strain that causes hemorrhoids to flare. It's the fiber of peace, the daily reminder that relief doesn't come from force but from flow. The fifth is flaxseed, the tiny seed of smoothness. Ground or soaked, it becomes a natural lubricant for your intestines. Its healthy fats and mucilage coat the inner lining of the bowel, reducing friction and inflammation. Each spoonful is like oil for the body's gears, helping everything move without pain or pressure. The sixth is Brazil nuts, the antioxidant shields. Just 1 or 2 contain enough selenium to boost tissue regeneration, strengthen the vein walls, and help the body control inflammation. They are small, but inside them lives the mineral that helps your body repair what pain has broken. The seventh is coconut water, the purest form of hydration nature created. It replenishes electrolytes, cools internal heat, and balances acidity. For a body fighting inflammation, coconut water is like rain over fire, refreshing, calming, and full of renewal. And finally, the eighth, pure water, the simplest yet most powerful of all. Nothing heals the body faster than proper hydration. Water keeps your blood fluid, your intestines active, and your entire system in motion. It is the quiet healer, the invisible thread that connects every cell to life itself. These 8 foods, when combined, don't just treat symptoms, they transform the environment inside you. They rebuild the terrain where pain once grew. They bring back softness, flexibility, and flow. And if you think this is too simple to work, remember, the body was designed to heal with simplicity. The foods that come from the earth are not weak. They are precisely what your body was made to recognize, to use, to thrive on. If someone you know has been silently struggling with hemorrhoids, share this message. These aren't exotic cures or quick fixes. They're the wisdom of nature, proven, patient, and profoundly effective. When these foods come together, something extraordinary begins to happen inside your body. It's not one ingredient or one meal that changes everything. It's the orchestra they create when they work in harmony. Berries bring strength to the veins, greens purify the blood, garlic reopens the pathways, oats and flax seeds smooth the passage, Brazil nuts repair, and water, both pure and from coconuts, keeps it all moving. Your body isn't a collection of parts, it's a system of rhythms. Every organ listens to the others, and when one finds balance, the rest begin to follow. As circulation improves, the pressure in your veins softens, the heat of inflammation fades, the burning and itching become less frequent, and soon they vanish. But beyond the physical relief, there's something deeper that changes, your relationship with your own body. You stop seeing food as punishment or restriction and start seeing it as collaboration. You realize that healing isn't about deprivation, it's about participation, about giving your body the materials it needs to rebuild. Science supports this harmony. Studies have shown that diets rich in antioxidants, fibers, and omega-3 fats drastically reduce inflammation markers. Blood viscosity improves, and the venous walls regain elasticity. That's why the swelling diminishes naturally. That's why the bleeding stops. That's why you wake up one morning and realize the pain that once ruled your days is simply gone. It's not a miracle. It's the result of consistency. Every glass of water, every handful of greens, every spoonful of flaxseed is a signal, a vote for your body's recovery. These foods don't act like pills. They don't force a reaction, they guide it. They remind your body of what health feels like, and then it takes over. And there's beauty in that. Because healing doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be quiet. It can be a slow morning where you feel lighter, a walk where sitting no longer hurts, a meal that leaves you calm instead of bloated. It can be small moments, but each one is proof that your body listens when you speak to it with care. So don't look for a single cure. Look for the pattern, the balance, the flow. These foods don't compete, they complete each other. Together, they become the rhythm of recovery, a quiet music your body already knows how to dance to. Your kitchen becomes your first pharmacy, not the sterile kind filled with bottles and labels, but one alive with colors, textures, and aromas, the real tools of healing. Every fruit, every seed, every leaf carries a piece of the balance your body has been missing. When you step into that space with awareness, you begin to reclaim control over your own health. It starts with small rituals. Her bowl of oats in the morning, rich with ground flaxseed and fresh berries. That's not just breakfast, it's medicine disguised as comfort. A lunch filled with dark leafy greens drizzled with olive oil and crushed garlic. That's your circulation therapy. A handful of Brazil nuts in the afternoon. That's your antioxidant shield recharging. And when the evening comes, a glass of coconut water instead of soda. That's your body thanking you for listening. Healing through food is not about perfection. It's about rhythm. It's about returning to the pace nature intended. You don't need exotic powders or complicated detox plans. The cure is already in what's simple, in what's whole, in what your great-grandparents would still recognize as food. When you make these choices consistently, your body begins to trust you again. The intestines, once sluggish, start to move with ease. The blood, once heavy, flows with clarity. The veins, once inflamed, slowly regain their tone. You feel it not just physically but emotionally. That lightness, that quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're finally doing something right. And yes, there will be days when you forget, when you eat in a rush or fall back into old habits. But healing isn't lost in one mistake. It's built in the return. Every time you come back to the foods that heal, your body continues where it left off. It's patient like that. It always welcomes you back. Remember, the most powerful medicines are the ones your body recognizes. Food doesn't just fill you. It communicates with your cells, with your bloodstream, with your very energy. When you eat clean, living food, you're speaking your body's native language. You're telling it, I remember you. I choose you. I'm with you now. And slowly, it responds. The swelling subsides, the pressure fades, the warmth that once burned turns into circulation that feels alive again. You sit down without fear. You move without pain. You live without hesitation, all because you gave your body what it had been asking for all along, real nourishment. In the end, healing is not a destination. It's a return to listening, to slowing down, to understanding that your body has never been against you. It's been trying to protect you all this time, speaking through swelling, pain, and discomfort, because that's the only language it had left. Now that you've learned the truth, the power is back in your hands. Those 8 foods are not miracles, they are reminders. Reminders that the body already knows how to heal when we stop interrupting the process. When you eat with intention, you give your body permission to repair. When you hydrate, you give your blood the freedom to flow. When you choose balance, the body follows. You might not notice the transformation in a single day, but it begins the moment you make the decision. Each meal becomes a quiet declaration, I'm ready to heal. The inflammation softens, the pressure lessens, and life returns to places that once ached with pain. You realize that the body isn't fragile, it's resilient. It just needs the right environment to do what it was designed to do, regenerate. And as this journey continues, you begin to feel different, not just physically, but emotionally. Food no longer feels like guilt or confusion, it feels like harmony. Eating becomes sacred again, an act of care, not of control. You stop fighting your body and start working with it, and in that cooperation, healing becomes effortless. There's a peace that comes when you no longer chase quick fixes, when you understand that real recovery is built on trust. Trust between you and your own body. You start waking up lighter, calmer, and more in tune with yourself. You sit without pain, move with freedom, and carry yourself with quiet pride, knowing you earned this balance one choice at a time. So as you finish this journey, remember, your body has always known the way back. The inflammation, the pain, the swelling, they were never enemies. They were signals guiding you home. If this message resonated with you, like this video, share it, and subscribe. Every week, new ways to heal naturally, to strengthen your body and to rediscover the comfort of living pain-free through the simplest and most powerful medicine of all, food.